it's just become a wonderful event for our community, as big as our parades and anything else. It is the event that people want to be part of.
It's been a long time. I'm just glad now that the interest in how it really got started is coming about.
Time passes so fast. I can remember Barbara Odom Wesley and others going before the school district to get it as a school holiday.
A young lady named Beverly called, and she asked me if I knew that they were taking Martin Luther King holiday off the school calendar. There are ways to make things move, and if you think about the bus boycott that they had in Alabama, the reason it was so successful is because all those people heard it on the television.
By requiring students to come to school on King Day, officials say they could end the school year earlier than June 1st. The school board is expected to vote at their next meeting on the proposal to eliminate Dr. King's Day and possibly other holidays from the school calendar.
We, the African American community, went to the school board meeting and convincing them that they should designate Dr. King's birthday as a school holiday. What I spoke about was that it's not really a day off, but it should be a day on to serve, to honor Dr. King and the work that he had done.
It got on the calendar, and then they organized a committee to see what we need to do with maintaining his dream, Martin Luther King's dream.
The Arlington MLK celebration started with a group of individuals back in 1988, represented various parts of our community, including the City of Arlington, Marian Anderson Cultural Society, the United States Postal Service,
AISD, the Ministerial Alliance,
and UTA.
I was asked why was I part of the group, and I said because of what it represents. But I can remember arranging to have the meetings in like the AISD old administration building, and I think that to begin with there were maybe 8 or 12 of us, if that many. And so we came together as a group and decided we wanted to honor Martin Luther King and try to bring people together, just like he did.
And that was 1988. They said it took them about 3 to 4 months to plan something, and they implemented the first activity at the Bob Duncan Center. That activity took place in January of 1989, and I actually was invited to be the dance instructor. AISD decided that they were going to allow students who wanted to participate in this program that day to be released from school, so they just canceled school that day so that anyone that could come. The kids came up, they learned to dance, and in the afternoon when parents were off work, they had kind of a showcase. They had singing and dancing and presentations from our leadership.
The line was so long, it went out into the streets.
That surprised me. Pleasantly surprised me that the entire community embraced the idea of celebrating the legacy of Dr. King.
The more people who saw what the event was accomplishing, the more people wanted to be part of the event itself. So the committee grew as the event grew.
By 90, they had a 2-day celebration.
Reverend Don Pike, right down the street at First Methodist Church, was the first chair.
By 1991, it became a 3-day celebration, which turned into a 4-day celebration. And we've included a lot of different things.
How could we relate it to the students in the school district? Well, that started the designing of the shirts that they now wear.
You're talking about 35 years, and I came on, I've been on that 32 years. So it seems easy to do, but we had to, for the art, we met with all the art teachers when they first started the school year. Then we would also talk to the English teachers about the essays.
Up came the idea of the cancellation stamp for the post office. They were very happy to do that.
I was asked by Linda Freeman, who was the mayor's secretary at the time, and Elsie Odom, who was on the city council, to come and be a member. I was employed by the city. We didn't have a banquet. The banquet came under Reverend Phillips that year that he chaired it. In fact, Richie Childers was the one who was deputy city manager, suggested we have a banquet. And first banquet we had at UTA.
J.D. Phillips asked me to chair the first banquet. I don't know what we thought, that people wouldn't come, but it was a sellout crowd that very first time. In fact, I remember we ran out of seats.
We expected 250 people. So we prepared for 200 versus 500.
Which means we didn't do a good job planning. We just printed tickets.
Our banquet, which is now our gala, where we have someone who can bring a message to our community about whatever the theme is for each year.
And we've always had a theme, which is a good thing. You look at the entertainment and how it's changed over the years, and the caliber of speakers. You know, we're able to attract nationally known speakers.
And then we added the youth extravaganza, 500 voices of young elementary age students singing.
It's so exciting for me because I just really believed wholeheartedly in what the MLK committee was doing and was so appreciative of the opportunity to do that. So when I know it's a special event for these schools, it always makes it even more special for me that they choose to be there because they don't have to come. We put the invitation out there, and then those who are interested come.
We decided to try to expand it and include some of the high school students, whatever. And I said, well, we need to step it up. And I said, step it up. Step show. Let's incorporate some people stepping.
And then poetry and jazz, I think might have been suggested by James Hawthorne and Chief Bowman.
Then they added a multicultural festival.
They had a youth summit.
And TCC has done a historical timeline that travels for the MLK celebration. And I have to mention Nita Halliburton. Nita put together a quilt of all the t-shirts we've had over these 35 years.
My favorite part is the ecumenical service.
We've been at synagogues and we've been in other places trying to just encompass the whole community of faith or non-faith believers, and kind of exposed us to a lot of different areas of Arlington that I'd never seen before.
If you're down the committee, we can name a program after you. So we did that with Hubert Moss, ecumenical service. So one of our programs is Day of Service. And it's Zeb Strong, he died on the committee.
When I see the Day of Service, and let me go back, Dr. Mangum, the First Christian Church, came up with the idea to see the young people get involved and to, instead of just taking that day off doing things that they wanted to out of school, and they come out to give back and to help someone else. I'm overjoyed because back in the day that wasn't possible. I would go downtown and purchase something, and I'd have the change thrown back across the counter because people were afraid they would touch your hand. You would walk. People wouldn't let you affirm you with all their heads. To see your parents say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, to someone who might be 20-something years old because it was expected of them. I remember that. And when you can reclaim your dignity as a person, this movement did it for us.
But to me, the most important thing, and I think I already said it, is the fact that everybody is welcome to attend. That's why we keep adding these events. And I'm real proud of the way Arlington celebrates it.
It's a great accomplishment to have sustained something that started back in 1988, 89, with a group of people, and every year we have different volunteers that are coming in can help us to move forward, to advance. And 35 is a milestone, and I know that as long as we have the individual mindsets that we have currently, the youth, the different generations coming together, I know we can do it 35 or more years down the road. Continue to keep the dream alive.